Hey everyone, welcome back to 2023 and welcome back to Advertise Your Server. We're back, we're ready, we're pumped, and we're looking forward to a great year. We've got so many awesome things planned. In this episode, I really wanted to talk about getting your community ready for 2023, what steps you can take to get it set up, how to plan out your year essentially, as well as decide what your goals are and what you want to achieve this year. So without further ado, let's look at our checklist for 2023. So number one on our checklist is create a community strategy. This idea was taken from Commerce, which is similar to what we do. They focus on general online communities for businesses. So their idea was to make a community strategy for the new year. So when we talk about strategy in business, we have what we call operational plans and strategic plans. Operational plans are how the day-to-day operations are going to work, how things are going to be done, such as policies, procedures, and how, when we need to get a specific task done, when are we going to do it, and who's responsible. A strategic plan looks more at things like mission statements, visions, what your aim is to do, rather than the actual steps in doing that, which goes in the operational plan. So a community strategy kind of comes in between the middle here. It's a bit of a strategic plan, so it looks at what you want, why you want to do it, what your vision is, what your aim is for that year. But it also looks at how we're going to do it, what steps are we going to take. The main difference between the business strategy and the community strategy is that we're putting community first in it. You can have your community manager, you can have your community as well as your volunteer team putting input into it. So first off, to decide how you're going to build your community strategy, you have to decide what is the purpose of the community and what is your purpose that year that you want to achieve, and how are you going to measure that. When it comes to online communities, it's a lot harder to measure specific things compared to traditional businesses, just because we don't really have the tools as of yet, especially on a platform like Discord. Discord do not release a lot of analytics that we can use. They've gotten better over the years, but the analytic tools that Discord has still are pretty rough around the edges. We don't get specific languages, age groups, genders, things like that yet. In the case of Advertise Your Server, our vision for this year, as always, is to help grow smaller communities, help people start their communities and help them thrive, as well as build up existing communities, and also work with businesses to help grow their communities around their customer base. Their customers can have a place to chat about the products, get support, and talk to like-minded members. If you're running a gaming server, your vision might be get people to come around and join around a specific game such as GTA, Fortnite, Team Fortress 2, any of those. You really just have to decide what your purpose is going to be. And then, you're going to set a measure of success. So is it going to be based on members? Members aren't too good of a measure of success because you could have hundreds of bots. I know there's servers that, they have 500 people online, but they've got 80,000 members. So, well, you can obviously that's botted. Members aren't really a good factor to show how good the community is. It's really engagement, but then there's, people say, well, don't focus on engagement, focus on what the community is really about, and measure it based on our members, getting what they want out of the community. So, for example, AYS, should we be basing it on engagement, or should we rather be basing it on the amount of people we can help grow their communities? And I think the latter is generally going to be better because all communities want to have engagement. Engagement's a byproduct of getting members what they need for why they're there. So remember, set a measure of success that you can keep track of it and you can see how you're comparing it to other communities as well as how you were going last year. Next step to building a community strategy is research. Talk to your community members, talk to your staff, talk to anyone really. Get their take on how the community could be improved in the new year. We use Typeform at AOS. We use that for our survey. Typeform is a great tool. While Google Forms is free, I think Typeform is just a lot cleaner and it's a lot more user friendly. So get 5 of the questions, ask users how they think the community is going, how it could be improved, what they like about it. So not what to get rid of, as well as what they might want. So if they want new channels, if they want new topics, new things, you can get all that data. Then once you do that, analyze. So look at last year's analytics, look at what you want to do this year, look at how changes you made last year had an impact on last year's analytics, and bring that into the new year. So looking at how you can improve that for 2023. Don't forget to check out the competition as well. So look at other servers that are similar to yours, see what they're doing, see how they engage the members, because at the end of the day, online communities, we don't really want to be in a race with others. We want to be supporting one another, helping each other grow. So check out similar servers, see what they're doing, see what works for them, even hit up the team and see what they think works for them. People love sharing stories about themselves. So if you do content creation as well, make sure you plan your content up. This kind of comes into my second point, which is going to be about event planning, but make sure you plan how often you're going to post content, what sort of content you're going to produce. It's always best to stick to content that's related to your community. Don't go posting random stuff that has no relation. Once you've done all that, review the strategy, see how it's going. You want to review it probably every 3 or 4 months just to see if it still serves its purpose. With a platform like Discord changing so much and the online community space changing a lot, it's really important to consistently make sure it's up to date and adapt it to what's changed, what's new, pitfalls you may have encountered along the way. Make sure it accounts for all of those. My next point is planning events. It's a good idea in advance to kind of plan out an event schedule for the year. Decide how often you're going to hold events, what sort of events. You don't have to really put them in stone, just kind of pencil them in a calendar. And it's a good way just to test to see if those event ideas that you want to do in the future are going to be any good, because you can pass it by other staff members, see what they think. You can just use something like Google Calendar or Apple Calendar. Sometimes as well, communities over time, they change their purpose. So Advertise Your Server, we started off as a purely advertising server, and then over the years we've kind of more become a growth-based server. So we don't just focus on advertising anymore. We look at a lot more about how to grow your community. You know, we run this YouTube channel, we push out content, we make social posts, we host all these amazing things. The traditional advertising server is literally just a listing place where you can share your community. So over the years, our community purpose has changed. So you also may want to look at, has your community purpose changed? So have you moved from, you know, a specific game to a different game, or have you moved from a particular music to a different type of music? You want to look at these and see if these things have changed, and if, you know, other parts of the community haven't followed up with changing. My last point as well is, you know, don't stress too much, have fun. Community building is all about, like, you know, connecting with people, building up relationships, and growing yourself as a person, really. You learn great leadership skills, you know, you learn how to say what you need to say, you learn how to get things done. You learn great business skills as well, because, you know, you have to work with other people, compromise on things, negotiate. So don't stress too much about it. You know, we only live once. Don't spend your whole year just working on it non-stop. We have to rest. We can't go 100%, as I've learned quite well. So remember to balance your time out. A lot of people, they're in school, university as well. So make the most of those times as well. So that's our 2023 community checklist. We're going to be back in probably a week or so with our 2023 top growth tips, because each year we post a growth tips, a blog post and video with what we think will work best in the new year. So best of luck with the community, and we'll see you in the next video.